Come on up. Share your story. Give it up, you guys.
Thank you very much. Excuse me. Right, because I can't afford to pay for that. Right. My name is Delana Scoffrey. I am not affiliated with the parole department, with the exception of the fact that that's my parole officer right there. That's my only affiliation. I'm not paid by these folks or Arizona I work. I was invited by Carol Gahalver. I met her back in October at the Second Chance Center right before I had a chance to come out. She didn't really share much of her story. I'm not going to steal her thunder, but we have a commonality in the standpoint that we both were able to turn our life over from tragic to magic because we looked at the situation that we were in and we said, it's got to be better than this. I didn't do nearly as much time over 4 different stints as she did, but I'm a 15-year vet. I've been doing this since 2000. And that's not to brag because that's pretty sad that I'm not even 40 years old and I spent 15 years of my life in prison. That's crazy. So I know what it's like to be in that chair. I was just in this chair in November, and I was in that chair back in 2007, and I was in that chair in 2006, and I was in that chair in 2000. And so I know that when you sit in this chair, it comes with different fears and different anxieties and different worries, or it comes with different egos. Because I've sat in that chair, and I've been like, man, I don't want to hear nothing none of y'all got to say. Because I already know what I got to do. And then I've been in that chair when it's like the only thing I really need is a job and a place to stay. That's it. And then I've been in that chair as a 24-year-old kid who had just spent damn near 7 years of my life in the penitentiary from 17 to 24. And I had no idea what I was about to do. So I've been in all these different places and I've had the same issues that some of you guys have had. Substance abuse. I've had issues with homelessness. I've had issues with not having any skills because I got out of the penitentiary and I was a high school dropout. I had an 8th grade education. What am I going to do? I've suffered from just wanting to be a part of this life that we think is great. And see, here was my fallacy. My issue is that I kind of had the equation backwards. Growing up, the same people that I thought were my homies, the same people that I gave my life for. It took me many, many years, decades, in fact, to realize these people weren't my homies. Because when I was 17, 18, 19 in the penitentiary, they weren't writing me. I had to ask my mom as a 17-year-old kid, can you send me $200 so I can get a TV? My homies never checked on her. When I got out of the penitentiary and then went back as a grown man in my 30s, a single father who left a 5-year-old son out here in the streets, none of my homies ever checked on him. None of my homies ever picked him up and said, let me take you to the pen to go see your dad. Never happened. Never happened. But yet I had this loyalty to these friends, these people that really, they were my friends. What they were the Undertaker. That's crazy. All they were doing was giving me the shovel and saying, dig your own grave. I will help you. And it took me years to come to the realization that these people are not my friends. They are not here to help me. But at the same time, I didn't think that these people were my friends either. I didn't think that they were my allies. Because see, I come from the streets. I've seen police do some real crooked stuff. Had it happen to me. Did a lot of time in the penitentiary. I've had COs do some real crooked stuff to me. Had it happen to me personally. Got out on parole. I had a parole officer flip the script on me. So I understand the hesitancy and the how you guys may feel walking into a situation like this. Especially, like you said, you've been doing parole since the 90s. You know what it's like. Or what it's been like. But here's what I can tell you. I remember when I first started in 2000 doing time, right? I watched year after year, everybody keeps saying the same thing. 65% is coming. And it never happened. It never happened. 17 years, I watched people talk the same nonsense in the penitentiary. 65% is happening. And then in 2017, 65% didn't happen, but things started happening in the legislature. See, it was a time when you got out of the penitentiary, the only thing that they had for you was, we'll see you when you come back. There were no resources. There were no job opportunities. There were no helping hands. There were no parole officers you can call and reach out to and say, hey, man, I fucked up. Can you help me out? Wasn't like that. It was crazy when in 2017, I knew things were changing in the state of Arizona when they were arguing about prison reform, saying, I don't want to release people out in prison, not because I'm afraid to let these criminals go, but because they said, I don't want to let them out without a driver's license, without a social security card, and all of the other resources necessary for his success. That's crazy. The same people I thought were my enemy, the same people I thought were my adversary, were actually advocating in these back rooms to ensure my success. So here's what I'm here to say. is at the end of the day, I'm there to talk about me, not about what I'm doing out here in these streets. I'm doing okay. But what I'm here to tell you is that this is a marathon. This is not a sprint. And if you want to seriously make something different happen in your life, now is the time to do it.
Come on now.
Now it's never been a better time, ever. You can go to these people and pretty much anything you ask, they will find a way to help you. Miss Carol Gaharva will go above and beyond to do anything that it takes to ensure your success. When you got this guy, John, that comes in here and he lives out of this office and he says whatever it takes, these people mean it. They actually mean it. And I mean this from the bottom of my heart because I have taken advantage of some of these very same resources. I will call you out on your bluff. I've sat in the Second Chance Center and these people told me the same thing and I reached out and let me find out. And even if it wasn't for me, but I know plenty of people that are walking out of these same situations that need the help. So I'm going to call them on their bluff. And you know what? It happens. You call them, they will help you out. The question is, how much ego and how much pride do you bring into the situation? Because that was always the hardest part. The hardest part for me was, can I humble myself enough to call these people and say, hey, man, can you just listen? I just want to talk to somebody. It doesn't even matter whether or not I need a place to stay or I need a job. The anxiety is real. I've been home since October. I'm doing okay. Single father. I've been in my son's life since I've been home. It's just me and him. I'm doing okay. But I wake up some mornings and I'm like, damn, the bottom is about to fall out. It's too good to be true. And so it helps when you have people that you can lean on and you can call and you can talk to and you can share this with them. And they'll listen. And they'll be able to point you in the right direction. 20 years ago, I would have never considered therapy. Today, every Tuesday at 4:15, I'm on the phone with my therapist. Every single Tuesday without fail. If I miss that call on Tuesday, you better believe on Wednesday I'm calling her up like, hey, let's talk. You have to do something different if you want different results. If you keep doing the same stuff, then you might as well just tell her, hey, man, send me back. Don't waste nobody's time. But if you really want to make something different, then today is the day. Now is the time. All you have to do is look at things differently. Tap in with these people. Tap in with other guys that have been out for a while and that are doing something positive. I didn't expect as many people to be here, but I brought cards. And I'm going to leave my card on the table. And if you take a card and you need somebody to talk to, you need a ride, whatever it is, they're going to talk to you about jobs and other resources they offer. I'm connected with a lot of people that offer jobs. I'm connected with a lot of people that offer resources, therapists, housing, you name it. If you need something, please reach out. That's all I have. Thank you, guys, for your time.
You gotta appreciate that, right? You gotta appreciate that. I always appreciate when I got an opportunity to meet